Hello everyone, today I'm going to do review and setup of the Honeywell evaporative cooler. This is the model number TC09PEU and I already reviewed its older brother TC10PEU, which I'm going to post video in description. Now this unit retails $150 and right now it's on sale on Amazon for $120. I'm going to post a link in the description for this unit if you're interested in buying after you see the review. Now let's go over the box first and then I'll tell you what came inside the box and then I'll talk about the unit itself. Now the box itself, it did come inside its original box. It was nicely packaged, nothing was damaged. And here's the little bit more specs, the voltage. It only uses 0.5 amps, which is pretty amazing. The whole unit weighs about 15 pounds, which is not heavy at all. And let's see the other side. And here what we have is low water alarm, slim design. It does come with the remote control, which I will show in a little bit, but it looks like this. And this is the control panel. And let's see if there's anything on that other side. And the last side, which has a big sticker on it from shipping. Now inside the box, we do have some paperwork. There's a few different manual, startup guide, warranty, but I'll show you all that. Came with the little manual. Here we have, and this is the user manual. It does have few languages. We have service and warranty, and I thought this was pretty interesting. Comes with the electrical wiring diagram. Not sure why, but in case you do need to repair it, it's gonna show you the diagram. And it comes also with the safety and maintenance guide. And of course it comes with the remote. And let me show you that. Now this remote looks exactly like all the other Honeywell evaporative coolers I used. It's pretty much the same remote. You have escalation, you have the cold feature, you have 3 different speeds. You just press for each speed, and of course you have the power button. Now this unit also doesn't have the timer, which is very unfortunate because timer is one of the functions I use a lot. And it also doesn't have like any different modes like other evaporative coolers I use have different modes like nature, sleep mode and stuff like that. This one doesn't have it, so it's pretty simple. Now let's talk about the unit itself. Let's go from the outside. On top we have the control panel. It's going to be same things as in the remote, escalation, speed, 3 different speeds. We have the cold feature that uses the water, and then we have the power. And the top of the unit is pretty flat. It doesn't have a place to place the remote, but I just keep it on top since it's flat. It's not gonna go anywhere. And on the front of the unit we do have the lowers, as they called. I'm not sure, I think that's what they're called, but it's like 2 different sets. It has top and bottom, so you can adjust the top to push the air top, and then you can push the air bottom. I'm not sure why they have 2 different ones, but since it's a small area, I don't think you need to adjust air to go 2 different ways, but it is what it is. Now, and it also has escalation inside, which will move the air from left to right. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but these things move left to right, so it kind of pushes the air. And on the bottom we do have, of course, the tank. We can see how much water we have. We have minimum and max, and we also have 4 caster wheels on the bottom, which do help to push it. But since the unit is so small, and another cool thing I like, it does have like where you can place your hand here, and then you can place your hand on here, so you can just carry it easily. So it does have a nice place where you can place your hands, so you can just pick it up and carry it. So it's 15 pounds without the water, and then it takes about 1.5 gallons of water, which is another like 6 pounds. So altogether about 20 pounds, even if it's full. So it's not very heavy, anybody can lift it. And that's it. Let me show you these sides. And on this side we do have the number of the Honeywell. Then we have all these grooves that serve no purpose. And on this side we do have nothing. And let me flip it to this other side. And unlike most of the evaporative coolers, this one doesn't have like the filter on the back of the unit. It's actually on the right side of the unit, which I'll show in a little bit. But I just wanted to show you how to add water. So you just pull this out and then you just pour in water. What I use is just like one of these pitchers, water pitchers, and then you just put in water. It has a good pressure, so you're not gonna spill anything. You can just, you know, add water normally. Doesn't leak unless you spill. And on the bottom there's a drain plug, so all you have to do is just unplug it. It's gonna drain all the water and then you just plug it back in. And on the right side of the unit, this is where the filter is. Now, interesting thing about this, you do need the screwdriver. It has 2 screws if you do want to remove this plastic. Now, the plastic itself, surprisingly, doesn't come with a mesh to gather all the dust, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you can add your own mesh if you do want to. I wish it did have it. And this is where the Honeywell filter is. Now, this thing you don't need to replace. If you do want to, you can wash it in some vinegar water and let it dry. Other than that, it doesn't get moldy at all. Now, when it comes to maintenance of this unit, what you have to do is they do recommend if you don't use the unit for a couple days, you do drain it and then add fresh water. They don't recommend using the unit with the stale water because of the smell and whatever gathers in the water. It can even create a little bit of mold if you don't end up using it for a few days. When it comes to the filter, it doesn't really need any washing at all unless it gathers a lot of dust, but I would recommend maybe like once a month unscrewing the side of the unit, taking the filter out, running it through the regular water. You can add a little bit of vinegar if your filter smells, but it shouldn't smell. But if it does, add some vinegar, drench it in that water, make sure it's dry, put it back in. So that's honestly the maintenance of this unit. All right, so let me show you how it works. I'm gonna do first, second, third speed. And then after I've finished that, I'm gonna talk about the noise, the functionality, and if it's worth buying. So this would be the first speed. This will be the second one. And this will be the third one. And let's push it back to the first one. And let me show you the escalation. And you can see this little plastic lower smooth. And the final thing I wanted to show you is, of course, the cold feature. I do have the temperature gun. Let's measure the temperature right now. It's about 83. So I'm gonna let it run for a couple minutes and then I'll come back and check the temperature again. All right, so I'm back. It's been a few minutes and let's check the temperature again. It's about 77.7, 77.5. So we are getting about 5 degrees lower temperature, which is normal for most of the evaporative coolers I did review. Now let me turn this off and all right, so we're getting about 5 degrees lower temperature, which is pretty normal for most of the evaporative coolers I did review. Now, the way it works is, for example, if your room is 80 degrees, this will blow 75 degrees air. Now, it will not drop the temperature in the room. And if you end up using this for 4, 5, 6 hours nonstop, it will make it very humid, so it will feel even hotter. So the way I use it is, for example, if outside is 105, 110, of course I have to have AC on. So if I set the room of the temperature, for example, 80 degrees, my AC will, turn on, cool it down to 80. So then I would, of course, have this on, and this will blow the air about 75, 74 degrees. So it will make my whole room feel much colder because of this breeze. Now this will not drop the temperature of my room to like 78, 77. It will not do that. No matter how small the room is, it will not drop the temperature. The only thing it does is it lowers the air that's outputting. So a lot of people confuse this with the portable AC or something like that, which is not. But it's also better than just the regular fan because, as I said, because of that 5-6 degree change in temperature that's putting out. All right, so let's talk about the functionality of the unit. I've been using this for a couple weeks. I do have the, as I mentioned, older brother TC09PEU model, which is a little bit taller. I do prefer that one. Now, the reason I do prefer it is because this little unit is very noisy. I know in the reviews, some people say it's quiet. This is not quiet. If you end up using few evaporative coolers like me, this unit actually ends up being one of the more loud ones, even on the first speed. Now, is it usable? Of course it is, but when you use something that's not as loud, then you know, plug this one in and then you definitely notice the difference. I will compare this one and the one I'm using right now so you guys can see the difference in my next video. But to be fair, I'm not gonna keep this unit just because of the noise. I'm not a big fan of very loud ones, especially if I'm going to sleep. So that's the first thing I'm not a big fan of, is the noise. Everything else, it works perfect. The build quality is very nice. It's very sturdy, and I don't think this unit will break anytime soon. It's very, very nice quality. It does have the rollers. It's easy to carry. It does come with the remote. One thing I don't like, it doesn't come with the timer. That's one thing I don't like. And the other one is I do like when they do have the mesh on the filter to gather the dust. And you would be surprised how much dust it gathers because it's taking all the air from the back of the unit, or in this example from the side. And because this unit is very close to the ground, it's gonna gather some hairs or dust. Even on the front of the unit, I had a couple small hairs. I'm not even sure from where, but because that air is pulling in, it's gonna gather all that dust. And so I do prefer if they do have the mesh. Now you can buy the mesh and just, you know, glue it on the back, like right here. So for example, if you do end up buying like a mesh, you can just glue it on inside of this plastic so it gathers that dust and hair and particles, which would be kind of nice. Now, when it comes to the price, as I mentioned, $150 retail. I've been seeing it on Amazon for $120 for months now. So I'm just gonna assume what's the regular price is $120. I think it's a definitely buy. Now, I would recommend you add 10 bucks and buy his bigger brother, which is $130 right now on Amazon. I'm gonna post both of those links in description of both of the units. Now, even though this unit is much louder than my previous one, it does have a better output of air. So you can decide if you want more output of air or less noise. And that's my recommendation of which one you want. If you want less noise, I would suggest you go with the other one. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.